Welcome back, Shalloners, and welcome my COVID cuties. Dude, right? Is this not like wild? I can't tell if we're all overreacting or underreacting. You know what I mean? I tend to think that we are overreacting. It's like they say in Men in Black. A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, and prone to outbursts. It's like, that's true. And I feel like this whole quarantine thing, work from home, mass closings, all the flights canceled, you can't go on your trip to Bali, Shallon, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I was supposed to go to Bali. Thanks. Great timing. Great timing. I just feel like it's mass hysteria. But in every down, there is an up. For every cloud, there is a silver lining. For me personally, it's war profiteering. I'm doing a lot of YouTube videos and everyone's watching because everyone's home with nothing better to do. But for you, my loves, you can find perhaps the love of your life. I know what you're thinking. How, Shallon, am I supposed to be dating when I'm under quarantine? This is where online dating and apps comes in handy. And I'm going to tell you some critical but subtle shifts to make to weed out the fuckboys, plus the red flags to look for in terms of like these, corona capitalizing fuckboys. Because what are men? A virus. And what do viruses do? They adapt, right? So it's not a surprise that as we are inundated with an actual virus, fuckboys are coming out of the woodwork. We'll break it all down, and I'll tell you what to do on your dating apps to maximize your chances to find a good guy and weed out the ones who are kind of making you sick. But first, just want to remind you to follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO, and if you have a love question, head to my website and click Get Help. So first, look, I'm still puffy from my laser therapy last week, the Ulthera. And I'm disproportionately puffy. I'm like really puffy over here, not really puffy over here. So I look a little chipmunky. I'm sorry. Just close your eyes and pretend that everything's good. Like you would in bed with a fuckboy. So while we're kind of all under lockdown, one thing obviously we're not supposed to do is socialize. And I was joking that like fuckboys are going to use this as an opportunity to ask for blowjobs without kissing. And it seems to be coming true. Like I've heard from you guys are like, oh my God, that's literally what my friends with benefits said. Like, come over, we can hook up, we don't need to kiss. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Am I a prostitute? Am I a streetwalker where like, I just like, no, that's not okay. I don't care what's going around in the air. Your mouth is a mucous membrane, and putting another mucous membrane into it is not smart. If you can pass an STD through a penis, you can, maybe that says that it's a bit of a germy situation. No. But that's not to say that there aren't good things to be had. So right now, you should be Tindering. You should be swiping. You should be hinging. You know how I feel about Bumble, but if you guys like it, all right, whatever. But what you want to do is weed out people who aren't deserving. And this is actually a golden opportunity to do that, because the number one complaint I get from you guys on dating apps is this dude just wants to talk and he never wants to meet up. And you might be thinking, okay, well, right now it's like rife for that, right? Like of course, that's what everybody's going to do because, hello, we can't really go out and meet up. Like that's not super like acceptable to be doing. I know. Here's what you do. So, okay. The good points about this is now you can get to know someone like over a longer period of time without meeting up right away. And usually I am very against this advice. You guys know what I say about dating apps. If a guy doesn't have a plan to meet up with you, if he doesn't ask you like out to take you offline within 48 hours, flush him. Because you don't need to be someone's like digital pen pal, their Tinder emotional fidget spinner that they just like text here and there to keep you on the hook, to get attention, to chit chat with our bored at work or on the toilet or whatever. And I realized that this isn't a thing that only guys do, because I thought it was. And then I talked to like guys who are on Tinder. Like whenever I go on a Tinder date, I'm like, tell me what your experience has been like. I'm really just curious about it. And they're like, so many girls never want to meet up. I'm like, really? I think that's fascinating, because I'm like, well, no, that's what guys do. So I think it's literally just a sector of the population and a sector of the usership who are on there just for attention, right? And right now it might seem like, oh gosh, well, of course I'm going to get caught up in these people, because now that we can't go meet up, how am I supposed to differentiate? 2 words. FaceTime. FaceTime. I've always been a big fan of Tinder because I met a boy I truly loved, my ex-boyfriend Joe. We met on Tinder and I was like, now why did I have such good luck meeting him? And then like, kind of not after that. Like I'm back on Tinder, I'm going on dates. And so far all the dates I've gone out with have not been like great. And I'm annoyed. I mean, the dates haven't been bad, but I have like no attraction to anybody. Like the chemistry hasn't been off. And I'm like, why did Joe and I, like, why did we make it and I'm not making it with any of these other dudes? It's because we FaceTimed. So when I met him, he was away at college. Still in college, just a D1 athlete who went to school upstate, and I am what I am. And so it was going to be like a minute until we could meet each other. Like we were far away. He was playing hockey, so it's like his schedule was all over the place. And he's like, let's FaceTime tonight. And I was like, ugh, like, no, I don't want to do that. He's like, why? He's like, don't you want to see if we're like sort of attracted to each other and like get along? And I was like, yes. And it literally made all the difference in the world. Because had I FaceTimed these other guys that I've gone out with recently, I never would have met up. I never would have met up. Like one had a really high voice, another one had really bad teeth, another one was just like, I read him as a possible homosexual. And I was just like, I wouldn't have wasted the makeup, wasted the heels, wasted the calories on the vodka sodas, and just like, I would have been like, okay, that was nice, but I would have found a lie and gotten out of it. But Joe and I worked because we did FaceTime, and I was like, okay, he's really cute. Like we have a good conversation, we have good banter, and it was as good of a chemistry check as you're gonna get without being IRL, And I do advocate talking on the phone, but there's nothing like seeing someone. Like I said, you can see their face. You can say, oh, are they like way bald? Actually, are they like, they look very tiny in relation to that doorway. Like ask them to walk around their house. Like, hey, can you give me a tour of your house? Just like see if you can like measure them against like the height of a fridge. You're like, okay. Do you need help getting that peanut butter down off the shelf? Interesting. And that was very, very helpful. So while you're dating now, if you're talking to someone, first of all, swipe. And you guys have a built-in conversation topic. Everyone's talking about Corona. Everyone's talking about what they're binge watching. Everyone's talking about what they're stockpiling. So this is a good, easy way to break the ice, right? You can even put a line in your profile, like, tell me the top 3 things you aren't stockpiling, but you kind of wish you were. Like my top 3 are like, Murder, She Wrote episode, something not lame, but make it kind of jazzy and funny. And then when you're talking to people, be like, again, give it the 48 hours, right? If they, well, this is tricky because it's like, usually in 48 hours, they would escalate it to a date, but if that's not a possibility, okay, then you can suggest this earlier. And they will probably bring it up. It's like, yeah, it's so weird. It's like, how are we all Tindering and bumbling when there's like no dates to go on? And you can say like, well, I think it would be cool to FaceTime. Like, I think it's like kind of a good, be real, be like, it's a good chemistry check and we can sort of like get to know each other a little bit over like a more dimensional medium than just texting. And here's how you know if someone's actually a fuckboy looking for that emotional fidget spinner. They won't do it, right? They won't do it. Look. Let's put this into perspective. Who has the burden on FaceTime? It's the females. Oh my God, I gotta put my face on. I gotta know my angles. I gotta hold it up just right. So I have to hold my fucking arm up for a whole 10-minute conversation. And I'm, of course, only looking at myself. Nobody looks at the other person they're talking to on FaceTime. I'm clearly only looking at my own reflection. I've gotta straighten my hair. I gotta do all this shit. I gotta put on the push-up bra. Oh, this is my clip. Right? So he's just got to sit there in his cargo shorts eating Slim Jims. And if he doesn't want to do that, with the burden being so much lower, then maybe he's not here for the right reasons. So, The Bachelor, you're not here for the right reasons. Maybe he's not here for the right reasons, right? Maybe he's just bored swiping because he's, out of toilet paper. Who knows? But it's a good litmus test, right? Now, we also should talk about what to put on your Tinder. And I've done videos on this before, but why not do a refresher, right? So when people go to your online dating profile, when boys, they want to see 2 things, right? And we do too. Everyone does. That you're hot and that you're not crazy. Hot is, of course, your pictures. Do not post a photo with a Snapchat filter. No dog, nope. Everyone knows that isn't actually what you look like, okay? And so he's going to automatically think either you're ugly and that's why you had to post a photo with a filter, or you're insecure also, or you're kind of catfishing him, or all of the above. It also just reads really, really juvenile. Like Snap is for kids, you know? It reads juvenile. I know it's scary to like put out a real photo of ourselves, but I've posted photos that are a little too good. Like I hit my angles a little too well. And I have seen the look in a man's eye when he saw me in real life. It was like, one guy literally said, he's like, "You're very photogenic." And I was like, "Thank you." And I'm like, wait a minute. That wasn't a compliment. He's disgusted by me. And I was disgusted by me. And then I was disgusted by him, you know, because I'm so cute. I'm not like a gremlin in real life. I'm so much cuter in real life than I am in these videos. It's like unbelievable. I looked at myself before I filmed. I was like, yeah. I get on here. I was like, is this a human potato? We don't know anymore. Just a giant tater tot. I've come to life. So they want to see that you're hot, right? No mirror selfies. It makes you look like you don't have any friends. No one to take a picture of you. You can do one selfie at the most. One selfie. The rest need to be dynamic, preferably solo photos. I cannot say this enough. If you're going to post a photo with friends, make sure they're not hotter than you. Okay? That sounds obvious, but I mean, I see it and I want to be like, God. But like, don't do, I don't care if you have to cut them half out of the photo, blur their faces out, whatever. Don't make them hotter than you. Also, don't make them similar looking to you. There's nothing worse when a dude posts a big photo. It's always at a wedding because that's where men take pictures. Guys don't, it's like, you guys, let's get a group picture. Let's get a group. They don't do that. So it's usually at a wedding. And who are they at a wedding with? Probably their girlfriend at the time. So you always see this like half girl, like a half of Meredith cut out of the photo. And she's like, you know, just this like specter. And you're like, okay. Or it's a big group shot and you're like, who the hell is this dude? I don't know which one he is. Because if he's in a hat in one photo and he's not in a hat, I'm like, I don't know. It's like, well, where's Waldo? So make sure people can identify who you are, right? Sounds obvious, but it's not. I do one full body shot just so they can see I don't have like tentacles below the waist. That's it. I don't post more than like 4 or 5 photos. And I don't link my Instagram. I mean, I don't because of like what I do for a living and people are going to see and be like, what the fuck? You know, it's like, it's kind of a lot to just sort of like dive right into the deep end. But I don't think that you should do that either. Just for safety reasons. Like there's crazy people out there and chances are you're not going to encounter one. Good. But if you do, your Instagram is a map to you. You've tagged your hometown. You should maybe stood in front of your house, you know, and people can find you. I dealt with a stalker last year and the things that people can find very, very easily just with your name is truly chilling, you know, and you don't know how this interaction is going to go. Every crazy person starts off normal. Every abusive person starts off sweet. No one gets clocked in the face on the first date and decides to marry them anyway. It doesn't happen that way, right? And I strongly recommend you don't take it to your phone number until you've actually met them in real life, you know, unless you're FaceTiming, like, but you can do that over WhatsApp and you can encrypt it and you can do stuff like that. So they want to see that you're hot. Speaking of crazy, what does not crazy mean, right? Brevity. Girls who talk and talk and talk and talk and blah, 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 blah. I realize the irony, I talk for a living. They come across as crazy and dramatic and high maintenance. And I mean, when dudes go out with me and they know what I do, they always say the same thing on a date. They're like, you're so much more low key in person. I was like, yeah, I'm like pretty chill. Like I talk for a living, but that's the thing. It's like no one is the same person at work that they are at home. And this is my work. Like this is my job. And I'm not going to be like lecturing you like about like relationships over dinner, like on our first date. Like it's very weird. And I don't like talk for 20 straight minutes. That's also very weird. I'm a normal human being. But on your profile, brevity, keep it short. I see girls' profiles and either it's bitter, I don't want the, if you're looking to do, you better swipe left and blah, 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 and it's just this ranting laundry list of everything you won't tolerate. Confidence is quiet. I don't need to tell people what I won't tolerate. I show it. I live it. It oozes out of my pores, sweetheart, okay? They take one look at me, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. So if you're too verbose and if you're going in that direction of like, and another thing, not good. Or you're going in the direction of, and on July 23rd, 5:07 a.m., I was born, and then cut to, it's like paragraph 2, chapter 11. You're like, okay, keep it short and sweet. It's okay to have a little mystery because the more you share, the more it's going to give off the impression that you are desperate. So, okay, so this is how guys interpret girls who never shut up: high maintenance and dramatic, right? The number one thing a man wants in a relationship, number one quality, a girl who's easy to be around. Girl who's easy to be around. She's not pecking at him. She's not nagging. She's not needing constant reassurance. And no, she's jealous all the time. And she's also not fucking talking 24/7. We all have a friend like that, right? We all have a friend who just never shuts up, or she's one of those salty friends who can't, she's a cold-blooded animal. She can't regulate her own core of self-esteem. She always needs you. There's always a crisis. She's always talking. You're like, people like this, it's true. It's a psychological fact. They physically tire us out. And the audience, the listener, automatically syncs their breathing to whomever they're listening to, right? And this is why I know I need to like slow down. Okay, we're going to my brain moves fast, so my mouth moves fast. But I know I should talk slower and relax you guys more. Is this better? It kind of feels better. I'm more relaxed. So when we have those friends who are like a turkey, we're holding our breath when we listen to them, and it's stressful. It's stressful on us, the listener. And when we get done hanging out with them, we're like, oh, Jesus, I need a Xanax. Like, we feel it, right? It's the same in a relationship. Guys, healthy guys, don't want to be around someone who is that turkey woman. We don't want to be around a turkey man either. This isn't a guy-girl thing. This is a human nature thing, right? So I'm almost, for once, proud of guys for like identifying that this is what they want, because I don't think we women identify that as such. Like, we keep ourselves so busy. We keep ourselves in this like, mental spiral state. We're afraid to rest. We don't like to nap. We can't turn our phone off. We can't say no to someone. Like, we can't be like, I need a break. We have to be lovers, right? We have to be tolerant, and we have to give and give and give and give and give. Men are allowed to take breaks. Oh, he's out in his man cave. Fuck you, and burn that shit down. Nothing makes me more insane when I watch those home improvement shows than guys who need a man cave. Like, oh, to get away from the woman you married? The children you purposely created? Where's your woman's man cave? Where's her respite from your bitch ass, Dennis? Always Dennis. So they want someone easy to be around, Life is stressful, work is stressful. You want to come home to someone who is your emotional nest, your safe place to fall. And if she will never shut up, how can that possibly be restful? And they make these micro calculations looking at your profile. So what should you put on there? Okay, I've said this before, we're going to say it again. 2 truths and a lie. I love 2 truths and a lie because it gives guys what I call a conversational foothold to break the ice. So that means it's easy for them to reach out, because guys reaching out, hey, how's your week going? Hey, how's your Sunday? Hey, it's like, hey, how's your week going? I'm good. How are you? It's like, it's just this like small talk loop. You want to kind of like cut to the chase and like start an actual conversation. And so if you have 2 truths and a lie, it gives guys a lot of information in a very concise amount of space. It's like 1 paragraph, 3 sentences, and there's a multitude of things they can comment on. So on my profile, I have 1 opening sentence. I said, I'm looking for a guy who gives me the same rush as a Scholastic book fair. Aren't we all? Like remember the tissue, those tissue paper thin order forms? Oh, love them. That's my love language. And then I go I say, let's play a game, 2 truths and a lie, : So what 2 truths and a lie is, it's like one of those, summer camp office icebreaker games where you list 2 truths and one lie, and someone has to guess which one is the lie. So mine are, I was an ice girl for the Bruins. A man tried to buy me for Egypt. A man tried to buy me for his son in Egypt, and Barack Obama follows me on Twitter. Now, all right. The Barack thing's a little bit douchey, but I am a douche. You know what? If he followed you, you brag about it also. So sue me. So the lie there is that I was not an ice girl for the Bruins, but it's a strategically created lie because one of my best friends was an ice girl for the Bruins, and we met bonding over hockey, and I love hockey, but I'm a Penguins fan and I hate the Rangers because they didn't, whatever. So even if he guesses wrong, it's still not a dead end in terms of conversation, you know? It's like, oh no, that's not it. It's, you know, so-and-so and so-and-so, but I love hockey. Are you a hockey fan? You know, and then you can kind of bounce the ball back. Dating is tennis, right? Dates are tennis. If you're hitting the ball conversationally and they're not hitting it back, there's no game. Think about that. So when you hit a ball, when you ask a question, when you make some quippy remark and you get nothing back and he's hitting the net or not even swinging, you're like, okay, well, this game's over. We acknowledge that with tennis. We got to acknowledge it with human interaction. Okay? So you've got pictures that make you look hot and a condensed, tiny blurb that makes you look not crazy. And now you know what you do? Nothing. I have never in my life, reached out to a dude I matched with. Never. That is their job. Does the egg swim to the sperm? No, bitch, it does not. Even anatomically, women receive. If men cannot text, hey, how are you, while they're on the toilet, you don't want to date this man. You don't want to date this man. It doesn't matter if there's something in his profile and you're like, oh my gosh, but I went to that school. Oh, that's my favorite band. Nope. Let it be. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I don't know. But then again, like, you guys are on Bumble. I don't think the girl should reach out. But two of my most happily married friends are on Bumble. I don't know. I mean, not on Bumble. It's a place where you go to have an affair if you're happily married. They met their husband on Bumble. So that makes more sense. So, I mean, I don't know, dude. Try it. Like I said, I've had luck on Tinder, but I also think like most people are on all of them. So if you encounter a dude on one, you're probably going to find him on the other. So who knows? But, you know, I think that there's kind of something wrong with girls reaching out. So message back and forth. Don't feel like you have to take it to the phone number. And they always say, I hate this app. Do you want to text? Just be like, you know what? I'd feel more comfortable using this app. I've had some issues with people getting weird. That's all you have to say. And if he's a good guy, that will not faze him, right? And this is something we have to keep in mind about our safety. If you don't want to hold the door for someone, if you say, oh no, you can't come in, a good guy won't bother him because his intentions aren't weird. He'll be like, oh, okay. Like he either won't even notice it or he'll be like, I understand that, completely respect that, you know, because he'll be raised right. And I don't want to date someone who fundamentally does not understand the experience of a female, right? And I mean, how can he? To a degree, of course. But I want to date someone who at least he knows what he don't know. It's like, oh, I don't get stalked, you know, but if that's your experience, if that's your boundary, great. Because who are the people who hate our boundaries? People who benefit from us having none at all, right? And that starts as small as this. That starts as small as Tinder. From that first interaction, oh, well, that's my boundary, but I don't want to look weird. I don't want to look rude. I don't want to scare him off. Why, girl? You don't even know this motherfucker. Scare him the fuck off, okay? This is your line in the sand. And if you can't set this small boundary, do not tell yourself that you can set big ones. Do not tell yourself that you're going to say no to anal. No, you won't. You know, no, I don't want to be around your weird brother. You won't, okay? Start small. Practice it. No, this isn't what I want to do. And like all boundaries, set them ahead of time. My boundary is I don't reach out. My boundary is I don't give out my phone number. I don't link my Instagram. I don't even really tell people what I do. I don't even think that I say I'm a YouTube creator. I think I still say I'm an author or an editor on there. Because I am, and I'm like, that's as much information as you need right now. You know, you don't need my whole LinkedIn profile. You don't deserve that. I don't know you from Adam. Like, who are you? You could be a crazy person. You could be perfectly normal. But again, a nice guy is going to understand why you withhold that. Because a nice guy and a quality guy is going to be also judicious about what he's sharing. He's going to have a life that's valid. He's going to have a career he wants to protect. He's going to have loved ones he doesn't want some fucking stalker showing up at their house. He's going to be like, I get that. I get that. Good. Great. There's another cautious woman. There's another woman who has boundaries as I do. There's another woman who has standards. Me too. Now I want to get to know her because now I see her as an equal, right? She's not on here because she's desperate and she's going to just do whatever she can to get a date and get someone to notice her. And there are guys on Tinder who consciously or unconsciously think that. It's like, what can I get these girls to do? I'm trophy hunting. Can I get her to send me nudes even though we've never met? I've heard that story. Can I get her to come over and suck my dick? Maybe we kiss, maybe we don't. Oh, Corona. So stay vigilant. Use this time to get to know people because I really think in a week this is all going to like have blown over. But in the meantime, you could have formed a really interesting connection with someone. FaceTiming and phone calls, right? But definitely FaceTime. Don't waste your time getting caught up in like, oh, our personalities really go well. This is not Love is Blind, okay? I'm watching the show. Videos are coming. Do not worry. Stop tagging me about it. I promise I'm going to do it. But like, that's an issue on the show too. Is like, oh, your personalities click, but there's no chemistry. And then what are you? You're friends. Don't you have enough friends? There's no tension with Diane or Catherine or Rebecca. There's none of this, gosh, I don't want to have sex with her and I feel like I'm supposed to. No, girl, it's not like that. It's not supposed to be. So you aren't trying to add friends here, okay? You're trying to add lovers. And lovers have chemistry. And sometimes you need to test that chemistry over FaceTime. So this is like a good test for all of us, you know, to weed out some fuckboys, annex in some good guys, and get our online dating skills up so that when it is game time and all this stuff is blown over, we can go out with people who are really like kind of, you know, the super group of dudes that we like, that we're connecting with because we've vetted them in a real way. And then when we meet up, we can hit the ground running. For more, click like and subscribe. And like I said, follow me on Instagram. Tell me if you're Tindering and bumbling and what apps you like and what apps you don't like. Also, feel free to share your horror stories. I love them. Just a matter of time until I have a whole bunch more myself. I'll talk to you soon, Shalloners. Bye.